Hello, welcome to Korean Grammar Breakdown. This is episode 27. Please stay here from 2 o'clock until 9 o'clock. Let's look at our vocabulary. Dushi, 2 o'clock. Remember back in episode 3 we talked about native Korean numbers and how they're used with the hour of the time. We're not talking about minutes here, so only you might want to look at that again. Aopsi, 9 o'clock. Buta is a particle that means from. Gaji, another one that means until, or among other usages. It can mean, as in other cases, like up to, as far as, to the extent of. It can be used for, this one's used really a lot. Actually, these are both really important, but gaji is more common even. You see it just all over the place. Now, there's other ways to say from, depending on the situation. There's 3 or 4 different ways to say from, but only really one to say until. So, yagi, pronoun meaning here. A is, again, our prepositional particle, in, at, on, and so forth. Here it just means kind of like at, or it could be in here, or at here, whatever. Ita, exist, stay, be. This, depending on the situation, is an active or descriptive verb. In this case, I guess, I'm not even sure in this case how you classify it. I think it's pretty ambiguous. It doesn't really matter in this sentence anyway. And here's an auxiliary verb pattern. Juda. Juda is an auxiliary verb. It means do something for someone. And the is just means to put the verb into form. A lot of auxiliary verb patterns use this, but some of them use the go. I think we saw one with go so far, and maybe there's about 20 auxiliary verbs in Korean. Total, I guess maybe 25 total, I think, depending on how you classify them. And there's about 8 or 10 that are super common and important. And this one is one of the most common ones of all because it adds a lot. This is used a lot for, it's a politeness strategy here. It's used even so often that it's used in situations where you can't even imagine why someone's asking anyone to do anything for someone. You know what I mean? They just use it because it just makes the sentence more polite and softer, even if nobody has nothing to do with doing anything. Here it does, though. You'll see this in situations where you just can't even imagine why they include it. And I've had Korean partners constantly correcting my sentences and adding this juda, and I'm just like, why? It's just why, and it's just the way we do it. Other Korean thing that's a little weird in my opinion. But here it really does mean do for something because you're asking someone, you're giving someone a gentle request. This is here. So ita plus juda, and then we're using the useyo ending that we talked about in episode 1. So, which honorificates listener. It includes the. You should go back to episode 1 if you don't know what this means. This seyo ending. It's used very much for requests and order situations where you're kind of ordering someone, but you're not exactly, giving. You don't want to use the imperative form. There are, ways to give people direct orders in Korean. There's a whole sphere of that, which I'm going to talk about probably in about 30 episodes or so. I don't see it being that important early on. Anyway, usually when someone's asking someone to do something, this is what they kind of use. They use this "au juseo" or just "juseo" a lot. So, yeah, there isn't too much to say here anyway. The final sentence: Dushi buta ahopshi gaji yagie isa juseo. Please stay here. So, it's like saying juseo basically is more or less like saying please do. Please do for me stay here at here a yagie from 2 o'clock until 9 o'clock. In order to keep it simple, I left out AM or PM aspect of it, just figuring that in this situation would be pretty obvious. It'd probably be the afternoon situation, like at work or something like that. It's hard to say, but and let's see. You could drop the A here. This A is kind of optional in this case because yagi means here. Of course, wait here. You don't really have to say wait at here or in here or on here or whatever. But this, grammatically, it's probably better to leave it. But I think when people normally are speaking, they're not going to say yagi too often. And again, ita. In my book, I actually wrote about half a page about ita in my book because it's very important, very common, and has a lot of different usage scenarios. It can be used as an auxiliary verb, an active verb, a descriptive verb. It's used in lots of grammar patterns. It's used a lot of different ways, and it actually has a lot of different meanings. Here it means like stay, but also you can see this as just be or exist. Please be here. Please exist here. Please stay here. And so on. But other times it's not so clear cut. Anyway, and as I say, it could be. See, even here, you could really argue that it's active, or you could argue that it's descriptive because you're describing this state of being somewhere is kind of descriptive, but staying somewhere is kind of an action. So it's complex, and I should maybe if someone asks me in the comments below, I'll do a cut and paste of that part of my book for you. But you have to ask because I want to get some comments. That'd be cool. So, there you go. Yeah, that's it for this one. So, have a nice day. Bye.